All right, what is going on, everybody? I am joined by Ged. Ged, how's it going?
Not too bad. Not too
Not
bad
too
at
bad.
all. No.
And so
What do you
today on,
hold on?
go
What
ahead,
what
go ahead.
what do you,
What?
what do you think of the beard? By the way, I'm keeping it.
You're keeping it?
Like it? Yes. No.
What does Stacy think about it?
She's a hard no on this.
Hard no.
She's a hard no on the beard.
I think it looks all right.
Thank you. Yeah, she's the only person who's a hard no. By the way, if anyone's ever going to watch this, if you could let me know what you think of the beard, I would appreciate it. It's very, very important.
She's probably the only opinion who matters. To be
Well,
honest,
you're not wrong there. I mean, that's not true. Your opinion matters.
no, just tell her you're growing it out for Obi-Wan, which is why we're here, right?
That great segue.
Great segue. You know what else? You know what else Obi-Wan loves doing?
Yes, he does.
Have you ever noticed that the only person who drinks liquid on the Star Wars shows and movies is always Obi-Wan? He's going to the club for a drink.
Interesting.
I made a video about him being a low-key has a drinking problem.
A little low-key booze hound.
Yeah, so the big rumor we're going to discuss is apparently Obi-Wan goes to the bar. Are you surprised?
Apparently just loves crushing drinks.
Just crushing drinks. Well, yeah. Okay. So before we actually get into the rumor, just for anyone who's wants to go in clean, there will be spoilers. And to be honest, I almost wish I didn't see some of this stuff, because I actually, the few times I have gone into clean into some shows or movies, the experience is much better without having your opinion tainted here and there, expectations swayed. But hey, some people got to know, some people like to know, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, then.
All right. So the big new rumor out is one of the key plot points is going to be a young Princess Leia, possibly in the 10-year-old range, potentially gets kidnapped in a cantina. See the connections I was drawing there.
Uncle Obi-Wan's out crushing a few.
And Obi-Wan is summoned by Bail Organa to come save her. So let me give you my thoughts on this in general. First off, this series, right? Like, for Obi-Wan to leave Tatooine and make it an exciting series, because as much as we all have been on Tatooine, it seems forever in these series. We need to see Obi-Wan off planet. And for him, any logical way for him to leave Luke, like, that is his like dying duty, right? Is to watch over Luke. For him to leave, it has to be something significant.
Huge.
And having it be Anakin's other child is in danger fits the narrative, fits the bill, I would say.
Yeah, and it's funny because you bring this up, and we're all really excited about Obi-Wan. But if you think about it, what the hell are they going to do with him for 8 to 10 episodes? Like, he's gone in exile. He's just there being like cautiously creepy on Luke. Like,
it's been,
what's he going to do?
It's been kind of my own internal like concern. I haven't really expressed that much, but like, I know there's a large time period here, but we've always known Obi-Wan was more or less a hermit. Like, really, was there rich story here? And I'm sure, yes, you can make it. But let me just get this out of the way. I think the Obi-Wan series is going to be probably the greatest series of Star Wars television up to this potential date. And
we don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's going to do, but I know just the nostalgia with the flashbacks of Clone Wars era and another fight with Vader, Inquisitors, all this stuff sounds awesome. Deborah Chow directing. Like, all that stuff sounds awesome, but I do, and like if I do have a little concern, it's just A New Hope established a lot of stuff. We get the line when Vader faces off against Obi-Wan, last time we met, you were the master, I was the learner, and now it's flipped. That really resonates, obviously, with the end of Revenge of the Sith. So to get a second fight with them, it's like, okay, so now Vader was actually not talking about when he got, barbecue roasted and delimbed. We're actually now talking about this fight that's yet to come in this series.
In theory.
Kathleen Kennedy said it's the rematch of the century, so it's happening. So they're fighting, and on top of it, we know Obi-Wan wins because Vader even says, "Last time we were fought, you were the master." That would imply he didn't do so well in the fight.
So what would have to happen in that fight that he left and never bothered him again? Like, there's so many questions here.
Well,
like, he wins, but it's not like he's, sorry. I'm assuming that they fight on Tatooine, and I should not assume that. Sorry, I should not assume that. No, that's fair.
Yeah, that's where Luke will be, right?
Yeah.
But he just totally zapped where I was going with that. Anyways,
so you said it'd be the rematch of the century.
Yeah, rematch of the century, and we know Obi-Wan's going to win that fight. So, like, it's more like, it's not like scintillating plot elements. It's more like, we're just getting some sweet eye candy and our two of our favorite characters to fight again.
So why do you think this would be the best series in Star Wars to date?
Well, just for all those other regions, it's going to be, it's going to look great. It's going to have characters we want to see. It's going to be all these Star Wars series. We haven't really got lightsaber action, right? Like, this could be, a pretty awesome fight. And there's probably a lot of story that's going to lead up to it. So this is where it harkens to my Leia concern now, is when Leia records the message in R2-D2 to send to Obi-Wan. She does this whole spiel about how you served my father in the Clone Wars. He trusted you then. He needs you now, blah, blah, blah. If Obi-Wan saves a 10-year-old Leia, wouldn't that be pretty impressionable on a 10-year-old? This guy, mysterious man in robes, comes swooping in with a lightsaber and saves her. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not referring to him as your daddy's friend, more like, hey, Uncle Obi. Like, it almost feels like it's a Wrecker Omega situation versus a, complete stranger. I don't know. That's just where obviously we don't know how it's going to play out. We don't even know if this is going to happen, right? It's just rumor. But if it did go down, like, that's my main continuity question.
But there is a possibility that Leia would not have seen who it was, or he would have not revealed. Because if Vader's unaware of their existence, if she was aware of it, and it's fair.
I guess she might not even know it's Obi-Wan, right? It might just be this man swooped in and saved me, and that's it. She's never met him before, so when she sends that message to Obi-Wan Kenobi, she doesn't actually know that's the guy who saved her. So maybe that's the angle they take with it. You know what?
Yep.
I think I just talked myself into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's plenty of ways that he can save her without her knowing who he is.
Yeah. And then my only other thought was, if they didn't want to use Leia as a vehicle, since Inquisitors are going to be such a big part, right? And what do Inquisitors do? They hunt down Jedi. Obviously they're probably going to be searching for Obi-Wan. That's what Vader's going to have a hard on for, right? Getting back at him. Yep. But they could have easily had, like we see a lot in Rebels, you could have easily had Inquisitors hunting down some Padawan on the run or something like that. Have him be young, and he somehow gets a distress call in, or somehow Obi-Wan finds out about it, and he decides, I have to save this person from getting slaughtered, essentially. That could have been an interesting narrative. And then you could have did like flashbacks and fleshed out a whole backstory of this person at the Jedi Temple. Could have had a pre-existing...
I thought you were dead against flashbacks. Didn't we establish that in Boba Fett?
No.
No more flashbacks for Tyler?
I liked the flashbacks. I had an issue with the present timeline. No, we're going to get flashbacks of, Clone Wars Anakin with Obi-Wan. I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of talking, right, to fill out that character building. But I hope we get some sort of action scene. Like,
I never thought I'd say this. I'm so excited to see Hayden Christensen again.
I know. Yeah,
I can't believe I'm saying it.
Like, no Darth Vader stuff on, like, actual Hayden as Anakin is going to be dope.
Well, he won't be. He'll be Vader.
No, flashbacks, man. There's going to be lots of flashbacks.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, like, I can't wait to see Anakin. I can't wait to see Hayden Christensen as Vader.
Oh, as Vader. Yeah.
So pumped to see it.
I want to see him like without the helmet on, like all scarred up, like in a back to tank or like in his
100%.
pod giving orders.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get some. Well, to tie the point off of what I was saying about having another Padawan, they could have done flashbacks of showed like Anakin and Obi like chummy with like this little kid at the temple, right?
Mm-hmm.
He escapes, Inquisitors are after him, and that's the trigger to get Obi-Wan off the, his desert rock to go save him. But sounds like they're going the Leia route, so that'll be interesting to say the least. Like, how does the princess of Alderaan get kidnapped at 10 years old? We'll have to see how that goes down.
Yeah. And I wonder if we'll get to see, do we ever see the demise of Bail Organa?
No, we just know he probably blows up in the Death Star blast, right? He's never in that Rebel briefing, so I'm assuming
it'd be neat to see, because he was kind of a cool character. I liked him.
Yeah, like Jimmy Smits, who plays him too.
Mm-hmm.
He got his flowers in Rogue One a little bit. Mm-hmm. So just other random points that I was actually thinking about is timeline for the show.
Mm-hmm.
If Leia's 10,
mm-hmm.
I think that was the rumor, 10-ish. Will this show take place before or after the events of Rebels? Well, okay, let me back this up. There's rumors that the Grand Inquisitor will be in this, so if he's in it,
it's
before Rebels.
And I hope we see the Grand Inquisitor. He was an awesome character.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And I was going through my mind of which characters, like, are they going to, like, Boba had some big surprises, right? Cad Bane, Black Chrysanthemum, Mandalorian had Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, all this stuff. Who's going to be that in Obi-Wan?
Is it going to be Leia?
Well, yeah,
but Leia going to be that? Although the whistle's kind of off that pot.
Yeah, it could be Leia. And then I was in my mind, I was trying to think, like, is there any chance of Ahsoka showing up? Just because Ahsoka, Anakin, or maybe Ahsoka in a flashback. You know what I mean? We only ever had Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi in animated form, but do they give us a flashback of the three of them live action?
Who would you love to see in non-flashback from this time make an appearance?
Qui-Gon.
Like a Qui-Gon spirit?
Yeah, well, remember when Yoda's like, I have training for you, Obi-Wan? Your old master has spoken to me from the dead or whatever.
What about Yoda?
Yeah, like, possibly.
He's alive.
He's alive, yeah.
He's alive.
Is he just going to do like, how Yoda spoke to Ezra, kind of like the vision? Is that how he's going to speak? I don't think we'll thinking. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see him. He's not going to leave Dagobah. But I'm hoping Qui-Gon. I'm hoping we get Liam Neeson just for like a scene or two of just.
I'd be all right with that.
Force Ghost. I think that would send fans wild. And it's
100%.
And it's logical. Like Obi-Wan was going there to learn from Qui-Gon.
Yep.
And Qui-Gon learned the power, right?
Yep.
But Qui-Gon's probably my number one because there'd be no other series or property to ever have him in again. Right? Where Ahsoka's getting her own show. But my number two would be Ahsoka in flashbacks only. Because it doesn't, if it does take place prior to Rebels, then Ahsoka hasn't had that confrontation with Darth Vader yet. And she never ever knew Darth Vader was Anakin, right? Until that confrontation in Rebels.
Yeah, so that happens right at the end of Rebels.
So that happens after. So it makes no sense for her to be present timeline.
Yeah.
Unless it's to be mixing it up with Obi-Wan anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
But Ahsoka flashback, Snips, Annie, and Obi-Wan in a flashback.
In a live action flashback?
Live action flashback is what I'm down for.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd be into that.
They're producing. Ahsoka's getting produced right now, right? They're working on that series. It wouldn't be too hard. And she was just in the Book of Boba. Wouldn't be too hard for her to show up for a 2-minute flashback scene. But we'll see.
De-ager?
I guess they would have to change her look. Just to throw the. I guess if it's late enough before she leaves the temple, maybe it's okay. She already has she could just do shorter head tails, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when is this? May
25th, I believe. Now, the only my other main question for you, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, is this is the first TV series, I believe, that doesn't have Dave Filoni's involvement. Does that make you more, less, or neutral in the confidence area? And would you have liked to see, would have liked Dave Filoni potentially be involved because, excuse me, he had written all these episodes in the Clone Wars, right? With Anakin and Obi-Wan. Like, I feel like he probably knows
is
those
he
two
not
characters the best.
involved?
I'm assuming it's probably a scheduling thing, right? He's working on Mando, Book of Boba, Ahsoka. I don't know if he's executive producer on season 2 of The Bad Batch coming out. I don't know if he's.
I'm okay with it because of Favreau.
Favreau's not on it either.
Now I'm worried.
Neither of them are.
No Filoni, no Favreau.
No, none of them are involved in this series. It's kind of its own thing, which is kind of like, again, those two can't do everything, but I guess Kevin Feige had some sort of control on all the Marvel movies, right? I don't know how you don't, I'm assuming maybe they've been consulted or whatever, but I was going through IMDb and I couldn't find any credits to either two on the series as a producers, writers.
That's concerning.
So it does have Deborah Chow directing all the episodes, which is a positive.
That's still concerning.
Yeah.
These two are arguably solely responsible for making your Star Wars universe not 3/4 of a joke. It is concerning that they're not involved.
And,
because that is this Kenobi series is a landmark project. There's no offense. No one cared about Mando. I mean, until it happened and it was amazing. Yeah. No one, I mean, some diehards were super excited about Boba Fett. The casual fan didn't care. They just got really excited.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenobi is a landmark, could be a landmark turning point, because this is the first time we're really getting a key character in this next phase of the universe. And one of the
most beloved ones at that.
100%.
I think you make a good point. Like, people were excited for Mando, but like expectations on what was going to happen was probably like here, right?
Low.
Kenobi, it's like there's no room for error in the Kenobi series. No room.
Like Mando was an easy win, because if it wasn't great, it didn't matter. It was a Mandalorian. If you watched, Clone Wars, cool. But if you've only ever just watched the movies, then you're not going to care.
Yeah, and if you're bringing in the big guy, right? Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen are coming on the show. You're bringing them back. You can't mess that up, because this is your one shot.
Like, this is the first series that's going to have huge expectations.
Yeah,
even more so than Ahsoka. And we love Ahsoka, but we're not the average fans.
Yeah,
but Kenobi, old Ben.
Big deal. And you don't got your two big guns on it at all.
Yep.
And the other thing too I was looking at is the writer. The first writer left, and the script was finished, or the guy who finished writing, his name's Joby Harold. And this is no disrespect to Joby here. Oh, Joby! You know that video when the dog craps on the beach?
Joby!
In the water? Joby, oh! Here's Joby Harold's writing credits. This is the person who wrote what we just said, how pivotal of a show it is. 13 writing credits total.
Okay.
A lot of these look like they never got made. So the ones that got made were Awake. It actually has Hayden Christensen in it. I've never seen it before.
Okay.
King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword.
Wait.
That's the guy Richie Charlie Hunnam won.
Oh, okay.
He did the screenplay and story.
I love that rendition, and it's kind of sci-fi.
I know you liked it. I was a little lukewarm on that.
I enjoyed it a lot. All right.
He co-wrote, or it says screenplay, but Wikipedia said co-wrote. He did Army of the Dead with Snyder.
Ooh, okay.
That's that Netflix one, with Dave Bautista.
Haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it? Oh, it's actually pretty good. It's a
Okay.
zombie movie.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like that's it. He's tapped. He's the one who's doing the story for the next Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So like he's plugged into like big sci-fi properties,
Yeah, he
but
is.
there's just not a lot there. It's almost, as a producer, again, what a producer actually does and how involved they are, I'll
Mhm.
never know. I'd love to know. If someone's here as a big shot Hollywood producer, let me know in the comments.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah. But anyways, he was a producer on John Wick Chapter 3,
Okay.
Parabellum.
All right.
He was a producer for Robin Hood, the more recent one with the guy from Eggsy.
Eggsy and Jamie Foxx.
Yep. And
Okay.
this is a favorite movie of mine. He was actually executive producer on Edge of Tomorrow.
I mean, that's if you think about Edge of Tomorrow mixed in with that Robin Hood with some writing in King Arthur.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad formula. He might not have a huge resume, but
Yeah.
I got to tell you, when you said here are his total credits, I was like, oh God, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
But I'm actually kind of intrigued.
And that's it. It's kind of a small sampling, but
Mhm.
he somehow has landed some pretty big projects. And he's also serving as an executive producer on this show along with Kathleen Kennedy. So I don't know. Is this guy the next stud, or are they really just let anyone do Kenobi?
I mean, his list isn't big, but those are some very cool and dynamic titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think there's good potential. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't have your two big guys on it, please don't fuck it up.
Yeah, please
Bang.
don't. Like,
Fuck this up.
like the Star Wars fans kind of turned on the Boba Fett series a little bit, right? Like people were expecting a lot and didn't potentially get what they wanted.
I liked it.
Yeah, I
Loved it.
I think the biggest issue is if you just called it something else. I think we talked about this. I think people would have been a lot more positive.
Yeah.
Could have just been tales from Tatooine or tales of the Mandalorian and Boba or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mando season 2.5. But
yeah,
I digress.
It is kind of unfortunate in a way that it got really good when it stopped being about Boba Fett.
Yeah. And just, I don't know. It's just people just, when you really think about it, the Mando is Boba Fett.
Not anymore.
You know what I mean? Not anymore. But the Mando was basically was basically what people thought Boba Fett would be. They create a show around him, and then they bring Boba Fett back, and it's like, well, Mando's already you. So what are we going to do with you now?
But I said this halfway through the Boba Fett series, that Boba Fett is going to be a gateway character.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to bring things together. That is going to be what he is going to be known for in history.
Yeah. Well, we got Cad Bane only
okay.
because Boba Fett was on the show.
You got
Cad Bane wouldn't make much sense popping
got
up in
Cad
a random
Bane,
Mando
you got
episode.
Mando and Grogu back together. You see an appearance by Ahsoka. You see Luke Skywalker building the temple. Like the gateway that the series provided is incredible. Like I loved it because of the gateway aspect. Just makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think some people's problem is that in EU, Boba was like this legend that did all this stuff, right? And it's like Mando's doing the cool things that Boba did. I think people just got it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If Boba was wielding a darksaber and cut people in half, people would be losing their mind on how amazing that series was.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
not wrong.
But
all right.
But yeah, Kenobi coming out. I think we're cautiously optimistic.
That's the whatever it is day after May Long Weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me pull it up right now.
May Long Weekend is the 19th to 21st or 22nd.
Okay, yeah. And the 25th would be a Wednesday, which makes sense because that's when the Book of Boba Fett was coming out. Yeah. Well, you know what? We got a great director. We got the 2 main actors, and the rest of the cast looks phenomenal as well.
What are the odds? Are we going to get you down here for this?
I'd like to. I'll be settled. I'll have my car back, so I don't have to, run into issues. Right? I can't take the car with the car seats. So yeah, we'll try. This will be the idea. The next live stream you do. This will be the last time you see this beautiful background.
Oh, we need to have at least one more.
Look at that. See those weights on the floor?
Yeah.
You know why they're on the floor?
Because you put them there.
Yeah, they got
because you were doing supersets. You had to drop the weight because you're not lifting weights unless you're dropping them on the floor.
Oh yeah, I since it's carpeting here, you got to bang them extra loud so people can hear it.
Yeah, I was at hot yoga tonight, and the gym's now back up to like 50% capacity. It's just every meathead on the planet just dropping weights. The world must be back to normal.
Yeah, back to their environment where they belong.
Back to their environment. Yeah. Well, I look forward to the next one. Can't wait for Kenobi. Really intrigued as a wrap up about the idea of a 10-year-old Leia. I'm curious to know where they're going to go with this. I mean, if it's 8 episodes, in my opinion, they can spend 2-3 episodes on the Grand Inquisitor. Totally cool with me. Yeah. Give me one rescue mission and then a couple with Hayden Christensen, and I'm a happy guy. Just don't try to do too much.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Well, you know why? You know what just occurred to me? You know why they probably have to actually why they have to use Leia and not like my suggestion of like a Jedi Padawan or something like that? It's because Bail Organa is the only one who knows where Obi-Wan is.
You got it.
He's the key to finding out where Obi-Wan is, getting him off planet.
Yep.
So that's probably why they got to use him. That makes sense. Makes sense.
Just keep it simple.
Yep. All right, buddy. Good chat. Excited to see this. We'll be doing reviews starting on May 25th, and hopefully we can do another live stream between there a couple times.
Look forward to it.
All right. Peace out, everybody. See you all in the next one.
Cheers.